Good late Friday afternoon. This is Loudoun County Weather Outlook. I just wanted to do an update here. I'll tell you, it's going to be a pretty warm weekend. Tomorrow in the mid and upper 60s. We get some showers tomorrow night, and we'll bring your temperatures and then bring a little bit of breezes on Sunday. We'll watch for a disturbance to move through here on Tuesday. Pretty much next week's going to be pretty chilly up until later in the week, and then we'll have to watch on Thanksgiving week. I think it's going to warm up initially. Maybe some showers come through, cool us back down to where we have been. And then we'll watch for what's going to go on in December. It's going to be kind of interesting. I'll get as far as I can on this model, and I'll show you some of the extended here. So in general, here we are today. We have this high pressure in control. But some easterly winds have brought the clouds in off the ocean, and that's why it's been kind of a cloudy afternoon. So this is early or late Saturday night, early Sunday morning is when you're seeing the showers here come through. Nothing really dramatic, widespread or anything. Bring some breezy times on Sunday. That's why the breezes will kick up. So it'll be in the 50s and feel cooler because of those breezes. Then we're here with some cooler reinforced air. High to our west. If you know anything about me and the forecast, when the high is off to the left, you get the northerly winds. We get the slow to the east. This is a northerly fetch, so this is pretty chilly air. And so by the end of the day on Sunday, we should see that cooler air really filter in here with gusty winds and chilly temperatures on into Monday and then into Tuesday. And here's that disturbance that's been forecast all week to get really close by. The question is whether or not the moisture can override colder air in place and potentially cause a mix or just rain. It looks very borderline. We're right here. You see the blues, probably in the higher elevations. There could be some. I suspect possibly a mix here, especially at the start. But when I say mix, I mean just like sleet right at the start and then quickly saturating and going over to rain if we get anything. Pretty chilly on Tuesday with highs only in the 40s and some showers around. We'll just have to see how things time out, whether or not any cold air is even possible. This could really influence where this low even goes. If it gets stronger pressure cool, it could shift the whole low pressure system to our south, or it could just get sheared apart and be nothing. So we'll have to see. That's Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we get some more showers potentially, but nothing really widespread rain-wise here. So we get showers, it's not going to be much. But the high is still to our west. We're still getting northerly flow. That northerly winds are bringing colder air down the east side of the mountains. That sticks around all the way through Wednesday and then into Thursday. But now you see that the high is getting closer to us. It's still north of us here, so it's still cooler on Thursday. But then things start to shift out as the high gets to our east and a big low starts forming here in the middle part of the country. And we get into southwesterly winds. So I suspect on Thursday and Friday especially, we should see temperatures start to rebound and we get up in the mid and upper 50s. And then we'll have to watch how this front plays out next weekend. I mean, I know it's showing a lot of rain here. I'm just going to give you a heads up. A lot of these fronts look pretty robust in the long range and they don't come true. But if this one does, it could be some pretty good rain next Saturday as this front comes through. And it has been advertised for a while that there will be a front for next weekend, with cool air behind it for a few days and some windy conditions on Sunday. So again, they're reinforcing cool air. But it doesn't last long as a high is trying to push back in here. And a strong low is forming again across the middle part of the country. Slow is going to turn the winds from the southwest. And this time the low off to the northeast is starting to get out of the way. So this should really warm us up. I wouldn't be surprised if we get up into the 60s again, maybe even 70s right there before Thanksgiving. And then this gets stopped because it's the latest run, but let's get back to the 12Z, and we'll show you next week. So again, that's the weekend, right, into next week. And then right before Thanksgiving, which is around this time, is when this front's going to make its way across the nation and try to change the weather to an extent. And then this shows a monster low forming, a lot of cold air rushing into the country. This would be an Arctic outbreak in the middle part of the country, and a blizzard up here in Michigan, upstate Michigan and Wisconsin and stuff. We'll see if this comes true. So far off, I wouldn't know, but it will be a huge surge of warm air before it. And then could be some strong storms and very windy conditions on the backside. I do think something like that is going to ultimately usher in the Arctic air, the chilly air that's going to come and overspread the entire nation and get reinforced. So I have to see if this all comes true. It's a transition time. I will tell you, forecast models have a really hard time pinpointing the exact time and location of lows and forming out, especially this far out. So do we have any support from the European model? It's good to know because it's good to always parallel what you see with other models as well. So we'll go forward here in time. First thing we'll look at is, again, Saturday night into Sunday, and then the reinforcing cooler air. So yeah, that's going to happen. And then here's that low pressure with the moisture. It's going to come through here next week. It shows it's warm enough for rain. If it happened at night, I'd have a more possibility maybe of some mix. We'll just have to see again if that plays out. And if it gets too strong, it'll definitely be rain. If it gets too light, it could go to our south. We'll have to see. Pretty much all week, though, next week, as it's showing here, staying on the dry side. And here comes the warmer temperatures. Also a front. Did you see how much drier the European is for next weekend? So the GFS there you saw was very wet. The European is showing it just more scattered showers, which is unfortunately the way it's been all year. So I would bet on the drier solution. Here comes this low. This one was a little further south, picking up a lot of Gulf moisture here on this low pressure system as we head into Thanksgiving week. Also strong southerly winds. I mean, this is 70s for sure. Possible, I'd say, Thanksgiving week. And then this front comes through, and this one on Tuesday, Wednesday. So this does coincide with what we were seeing in the GFS to an extent, that there's going to be some strong system that comes through. It doesn't really change our temperatures too much. It just comes through, knocks them down a little bit, and then it's this secondary storm that's trying to form. Here on the European, it's not very much of a consolidated low. Here we got two strung out low pressure systems. So still snow up in Michigan. But this, this is Wednesday, Thursday next week. So then as it goes forward, we see that this is a potential stronger cold and Arctic front, which is what we're going to watch for as we head into the last weekend of November. And then does it bring in the cold? It's a good question. I'll have to see. So it's a little bit different as far as makeup, but it does show a similar situation. The cold is going to come down out of Canada. And this is a pretty widespread, big arching cold air mass. So what'll be interesting to see is if this can move on out and get hung a little bit. Maybe we get a wave or low pressure or something that could be interesting. All right. What a long description here. What's going on? This really quickly, the 850 millibar side of things. You can see the big warm up in the middle part of the country. Here we are in the east. Warming up as we head into the weekend. This weekend, cool air, then reinforced next week. That's a pretty chilly shot. That's why we're wondering about this little disturbance, whether or not it could tap some of that cooler air before we warm up. And as we warm up late next week, then we also bring in a front. Front doesn't cool us off too much this time, as I was mentioning. And then as we keep going out, this is the change in everything late in the period. You'll see that all the heights are crashing as that low comes down and an Arctic chill gets pushed down. This has a lot to do with what's happening up in Alaska with a ridge up there bringing and swinging all the cold air into the United States. The question again is there a boundary low that forms here? It can make things a little bit interesting. All right, that was a very long forecast. Hope you have an excellent weekend. It should be pretty nice. Get out there and enjoy it.